Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Max Bankman, I'm the new doctor.
Welcome aboard the Odyssey.
ABC Thursdays.
This ship is heaven. We're tending to our passengers' dreams. I'm in.
From 911 executive producer Ryan Murphy comes a splashy new drama on a luxury cruise ship with Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson.
It's your job to keep everyone alive.
She's in VFib. 1, 2, 3. Clear.
I have a pulse.
You're going to be okay.
Dr. Odyssey. Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
I finished Queen Charlotte. The way I saw
that, I knew you were going to. I knew you were
Melissa?
going to the scene that is parallel with their younger selves and older selves.
No, we can't talk about it. I'll cry.
I was waiting for you to get to it, but I was like, she's 6, so she's probably not watching it. But my gosh, I've never cried that hard for a show.
No, this is how Moss knew he had to take me to the ER because he said, "Do you want to watch Queen Charlotte?" And I said, "I can't." And then we finished it afterwards. That is true love. I'm sorry, it's better than all of Bridgerton.
Yes, it is.
I need another fucking season of that. I need another season so fucking bad of it. It's actually imperative for my survival. Like I need the Queen and everything. Like I'm obsessed with the Queen in general. Melissa, when Brimsley was dancing by himself,
Yes.
I screamed. Mott's was like, settle down. You're actually you're very sick right now. You can't do it broke my heart in a million goddamn fucking pieces. I love this show. It's so fucking good. The fact that people are like frothing at the mouth for new seasons of Bridgerton, and we're just like chill, like letting there be one season of Queen Charlotte, and we're just like we're taking that while lying down. What the fuck?
When it dropped, no one. Everybody was like, when is the next season coming? Sean is like, no, like there's no. I wrote this like. We created a whole novel just so that I could write this show.
Well, get back in your fucking study and write another one,
They've
man.
got 2 years between when the next Bridgerton is coming out. Like, go.
You can't,
like you've had
can't
time.
give me this and then take it away.
And you introduce us to these actresses. Like, they deserve more. If we're not going to get more, like in like another season, give us flashbacks in the actual show so that we can see that.
Or give me a whole fucking season with the Queen, Violet Bridgerton, and Lady Danbury as old ladies getting their rocks off. Because I'm like, they're my favorite characters. I'm obsessed with them. And I need to see Violet meet her husband. I need to see it. I need to see them get together.
Yeah.
So fucking bad. And like, the fact that like we see the knowing look that like young Violet Bridgerton gives Agatha Lady Danbury when she's with her dad. That bitch hates her mom, and she knows that she's not dumb. She knows something's going on there, and then we have the whole thing there. But like they've remained friends, and this has been.
I will say, when you get to season 3, there's payoff to that. I will let you know
Which
that.
one? No, I watched it. I've already watched it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, they talk about it.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
We talked about it yesterday. We watched it yesterday. And I think I wrote down.
But the payoff of when her
they talk about
they
it.
have
And her brother. Which, gorgeous man. I've actually never seen someone who looks less British than that to me. The way that when the British accent came out of his mouth, I went, what? Like, he's gorgeous, stunning. It doesn't have iPhone face, but there is something about that I'm like, you're actually too hot for this time period.
Yeah, he has a little, like, he came in too hot. I think that's the, like,
maybe it's that. Maybe
he
it's
came in hot, and he, like, I've seen, the thing is, his facial hair that he has on the show, he could still have now, but like in real life, he doesn't have that same facial hair. But he still looks hot. Like, the minute hot, he still has like some facial hair, but not like the way that it is on the show.
No, and I was like, why are you're giving all these bitches these hideous ass mutton chops and these weird outfits, and this man could wear this to the Brits tomorrow and look gorgeous. I was like, okay, but maybe Sean is like, I'm not giving Violet doesn't need a man with a glow. Violet doesn't need a work in progress.
Yeah. We're not going to introduce Lady Danbury's brother as a WIP.
As a fucking, like, this is, look at my scrubby brother. He wants to fuck you. Get down? So.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I didn't think we were gonna be able to talk. We were gonna be able to talk. I
literally have like everything I wrote for for what's it called? For Queen Charlotte, just like all like expressions. Like, I love the Queen. She's such a fucking cunt. And then I just wrote down the bed. I'm sobbing. They're so in love. Literally my favorite couple who's ever existed on television. Like, I'm putting them in like the category of like Nick and Jess. Like, their chemistry is just so beautiful. The acting is phenomenal. I am obsessed with her. Like, I just am obsessed with the whole thing. I'm obsessed with like the story. I'm obsessed with like, there is what I don't usually love about historical fiction period pieces in general is I hate watching things without women. But then when you put women in them, I don't love the concept of like, oh, you're walking around and you're going married off to these men or whatever, and you have no personalities and whatever. And it's like, I like side characters. I don't usually love romance lead stuff about this.
Maybe explain why you don't like women in historical pieces.
Because they don't they have to be demure and quiet and like pleasant and all of this kind of stuff. And like, you just have these men who are allowed to have exciting lives and like all of this stuff. And like, that does annoy me about Bridgerton, which is why I like love Eloise, why I love like all of these other characters. And I don't, in general, even in current day stuff, I don't usually love leading ladies because they have to make them so like, quote unquote, likable and, you know, tolerable and blah. And so I'm just like obsessed. Like, we need more cunts and bitches falling in love.
Yes.
Like, and I just fucking loved that. And she delivered like the most incredible performance. So yeah, I will say I went into watching the 3rd season of Bridgerton. Like, obviously I was so fucking excited. And then you were like, you got to watch Queen Charlotte instead. And I was like, begrudging. The way I was like, okay, yes, but like, if I don't get my Queen and my Lady Danbury fix in this, like, I'm going to be quite upset because I was like, I just need more of this. This was like so fucking beautiful. It was also like, the story was gorgeous. It was just beautiful. And like how they touched on everything. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And then I started watching Penelope season. The first note I have is she's got great titties.
That's everybody's note.
Girl wasn't lying. She said, I can't wait for everyone to see my great titties. I got a great rack. And I have to say, cosign. Yeah. Gorgeous. Wonderful rack. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion. I wanted a bigger build up to them like getting together. To me, it was just kind of like he realized in this moment, and like, you know, I literally was like, what episode are we on? Because I'm like, don't do this to me. I don't want them to like get together and then we have all these problems afterwards. Like, don't fucking do that. Like, stop making these people go into unhappy marriages. Make them unhappy before they get married. Like, that's what I liked about Kate and Antony's one. I was like, yeah, let them be at each other's throats and then they get married. But I was glad that at least losing her virginity was painful because no one else has
when that happened there was a few things that happened in this where when the sisters didn't know how to have sex, and I was like, Megan's gonna like that. Insert where
she goes where, and there's like I love that. And I love those girls.
And then when Penelope had him like talk her through what was happening, I was like, great, thank you.
Yeah, they didn't make it hurt for long enough, and then they made her enjoy it too much afterwards. But I said at least she was hurting at first. And I can't believe the fucking pillow talk after it is like not even in like a shady way from her or like an insecure way. She's being like, so like, you know, you've done this before. Like you've like had the way that like it's just so normal and chill that like these men are allowed to like fuck around and have sex and pay for sex.
Yes.
Not let alone like just have sex. They're allowed to have sex and pay for sex with multiple different people. And then their now new wives have to be virgins. They know that. And it's like totally a cool, comfortable, casual conversation that you have about it. Like that part's still fucking crazy to me, especially because I thought that they were going to have Colin, which I was kind of excited about because we didn't see him fuck around in the other seasons, that I was like, this is actually might be sweet. This might be the first time it's two people who have not had sex with anyone before having sex with each other. And like, I was kind of looking forward to see that.
He didn't fuck around, but he would make snide. We didn't see him fuck around, but he would make snide comments.
He implied,
about it.
but he didn't show me that he was fucking around, so I was holding out for hopefully maybe this man was just posing. He had never actually had sex before, and then I was like, okay, you're having sex right now. So and it's not with Penelope yet.
The thing about the build up for me, the story wasn't. For this season, it wasn't about her falling in love with him or him falling in love with her because they were already in love. They just didn't realize it. And so for me, it was more about her falling in love with herself, realizing like she's worth it. Not just like it wasn't just about him after what we saw at the end of season 2 about how he was like bad talking her with his friends. It was about her realizing like she's enough, not just like with him, but also in her family. And then also the independence that she was creating for herself.
As a woman. Yes. And that's like Eloise realizing like, oh, we women have value. If I have to say that women have value, I have to then place that value on these people. And like women are allowed to be complicated. And if I want to say women are allowed to be complicated, I have to love my friend who's complicated. So I thought that was a much beautiful one. I didn't love his, coming back, Mott's and I couldn't get over his fucking outfits. I was like, he is dressed like an animatronic pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean from the fucking ride at Disneyland. I was like, what is this man wearing? Mott's is like, he looks like he's trying to be Indiana Jones. Like, this is crazy. I didn't love that. I didn't love, like, I just felt he was so, him coming back and like the personality change or whatever. And it's like that being like such a huge shift. I think as an actor, I felt kind of bad for him because like, I don't think that it was a huge enough shift that it felt like, whoa, he's being so weird or whatever. Like, I don't think they didn't give him, I feel like they didn't give him as much to like do in that sense to have like a total like personality shift and change. This is one thing I think it's actually crazy that Penelope doesn't know about sex. I feel like of everybody, Penelope would have figured this shit out.
I think that like gossip. I think the physical part of her not knowing about sex, but she wasn't surprised that there were things that went into.
Right.
Everybody else was surprised by. Everybody else was
didn't
like,
know what a dick was.
Daphne
he took his
didn't
pants
know.
off and she said, "What is that?"
Her sisters thought it was just kissing. Like she knew that there was an actual act of sex. She just didn't know how you went about doing it.
Yeah, she said, "Coach, give me a play-by-play, but put me in."
Yeah.
Or put it in. And then this is my hottest take ever. Colin is kind of boring. And like, that is like, I love a girl with all the personality and who just marries a man. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm totally fine with that. So I think that I wish they had given him like a little bit more because like he's a great actor. And so when he got to deliver like the really like lovey speeches to her, like he was so good at it. And when he's like being funny occasionally, he's like very good at being kind of like side remark funny, sarcastic. I wish they'd given him a little bit more of that because immediately I could tell. I go, oh my God, Colin, we're just playing the jealous man. Like we're just playing the insecure jealous man. And I'm like, be funny. And it maybe
because that's the thing is like they built a bond because they were off gossiping about everyone else together. And I felt like when he became Mr. Worldwide, they took part of his personality out. And I didn't like that.
And I felt bad for him as an actor because like that so much of like their banter and like you said, like why people were so excited to see them is for those kind of moments. And like, I just feel like he had to just be like kind of fucking boring. And like, that was annoying. The amount of sex we got with Anthony and Kate, I was like, thank you.
I told you, I said, it'll be there. He is so smitten. Like
he lives in that pussy.
Yes.
He lives, breathes in that pussy. He said, residence 101 pussy lane.
She didn't even,
that's my house.
He kissed her stomach, which most people would register as like, oh, he's kissing the baby. No, she said, we don't have time for you to eat me right now. Like, the dog is watching. The family is here. Right.
She said, get your napkin. You're full. Dinner is done. And he is That man is addicted to her pussy.
Yes.
And like so hot. And I'm obsessed with them. The way that I could watch a screensaver of Simone Ashley, like she's so fucking beautiful. Like I just want her screensaver, and it could just be just different images, dissolve. Like mesmerizing. She's so fucking beautiful. She's so fucking beautiful. I was a little bit disappointed by some of the outfits they gave her this season because her outfits last season, there were some I didn't love, but some that I love. No, I was disappointed by her outfits in her season. I didn't love a lot of those outfits. I loved some of them. I liked most of the outfits of her.
I was about to say I felt like in this season, they really tapped into her heritage with like the way that they built it up. Like they built her heritage more around, or they built her outfits more around her heritage, and I thought they're very beautiful.
Well, I think it harmonized it more. I feel like for her other season, it was just like, it felt like it didn't mesh with the quality of like the Bridgerton gowns. Like I felt like she was dressed down a lot. And this, it felt like, oh no, you're giving luxe. Yes. You're giving like glamour. Like we're getting more jewelry. We're getting more accessories. We're getting like stuff.
Yes.
Like she's looking like rich and luxurious.
Yes. And I
love the color schemes.
I love the color schemes. I also love how he was like, let's go to India. And in so many words, he's like, we need to race this brown baby around their brown culture.
He looked around and he said,
let's get out of here.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here. Go, go, go. And she's like, this is fun. He goes,
no.
Nah, I'm sick of these fuckers.
Yeah.
No, I'm sick of these motherfuckers. Let's leave.
Like, I need to be around the people.
He said, I need real food.
Yeah.
I'm sick of these fucking all of the food is beige. Everything they eat is beige.
I know.
Except when with the Featherington ball, I said, thank God, some food with some color. It might be purple, but at least not fucking beige. So Anthony is such a fucking baby too, which I'm obsessed with. Like he is a beta.
He changed, like I believe his shift in character.
Yeah, because it's what men do. He's a man. Like it is the man who is like, I'm player, all that. You know what? All he wants is to wear a leash and be walked by his wife. Yep. That's all he fucking wants.
He wants.
He wants 3 meals a day. Pussy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Wants to put his collar back on and say, take me for a walk, ma'am. And she says, okay. And he says, call me bitch while you're at it. And I was like, I love it. And I just have to say, he embodies straight culture so well. Like, what a wonderful actor.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but
I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
The way that Eloise is pissing me off so much, I'm like, bitch, I need you to get over this, because what the fuck did you want to happen? What did you need?
I think
what did you expect?
The main thing with Eloise, and this is her biggest character flaw, is that she talks the talk, but she doesn't walk the walk. And she's jealous that Penelope is able to do it. And she's also not controversial. My hot take is that she is deeply in love with Penelope, like in love with her. Oh my God.
And she's
pissed because her dream was, which she stated, was that they were going to be two spinsters living together for the rest of their lives. That's what she thought it was. And so she's pissed. And the fact that she didn't see that Penelope was in love with him is a problem.
She needs glasses.
She needs glasses. Like, Anthony knew.
This girl's blind.
Yes.
His mom knew. Lady Danbury knew.
Everybody
knew.
And it was because she's blinded by her own love of Penelope.
So I don't disagree with you. My take is I think she's either gay or asexual or aromantic. Or no, I don't think she's aromantic. I think she's either, because I would actually, she could be aromantic. I think she is I think she's gay. And then my next guess would be asexual or aromantic. And I think that she had envisioned her life with Penelope as this whole thing. And I think that this is not her like sexual awakening with Penelope, is like in love with her, but like is in love with her to the point where like I have like friends who are gay who would be like the first crush they ever had was their best friend because they didn't know they could love someone of the same sex that much. They didn't realize it wasn't like, oh, I want to kiss you or I like anything like that. Very codependent. Then later realized that was their sexuality, hooked up with someone of the same sex for the first time and was like, oh my God, that was this. And like, this is still a friendship. This is my best friend. But like, this hurt me so much more because like, there were aspects of this that I didn't realize were romantic to me, not because of the person, but because of like, it was my first experience of feeling this seen and close by someone. And I thought it was friendship. But it was friendship, but it was because I didn't realize I was gay at the time. So that's my thought of how I view that of them. But the fact that she had the audacity to get up here and be like, girl, you were shitting your pants when the queen thought it was you. And you were like, what the fuck do I do? This girl, she fixed it for you. And then she made so you don't have to lie about it and you don't have to act, because we also know that you can't play the part and do the role. Like you're not like that. So like she fixed this shit for you. You were also obsessed with Lady Bridgerton. Right. Like you didn't even give her a chance to like tell you because you were already so obsessed and you had to find her. And so like, you're not a safe person for her to be like, hey, by the way. And the way that anyone's mad at Lady Whistledown is fucking crazy because she's not lying. If you guys are embarrassed by her shit and she's ruining your name, you did the shit. She just talked about it. She just fucking talked about it. So like, this is not, and also nothing was fucking that scandalous. Like Eloise, you did do that. And you're mad at her because you did that. You're mad at her for talking about it, but you're the one who did it. So like, she didn't fucking make anything up. And of all of that, you're going to pick a struggle of being friends with Cressida. And then on top of it, then you're going to be one of those girls who goes, I can't believe you're going to date my brother. Stop it. Because you're only allowed to do that with Benedict because that's the only man I'd ever believe that you'd be in love with. That's it. If you're like, don't date my brother Benedict, I'd be like, of course, because I know you're gay except for your brother. And your brother's gay for you. This is what it's the only incest I'm shipping for. So like,
I don't ship for them in incest. I ship for them in the way that they both understand each other, but like they both like because they're both gay.
Chemistry.
And so
they
understand each other on a different level, even though neither one of them has neither one of them know what the other is doing.
But they're just sitting, they're having cigarettes on their swing, being like, we're both gay and neither of us are going to say anything about it. And they're like, okay, love that. So like,
but
the
like
fact that I'm like,
the way
Colin's the brother. You're like dating my brother.
Yeah.
Like, I also fucking hate when girls are like, you can't date my like, why? Do you want to date him? Also, she was your best. This should be the best news of your life. And again, you're right. Like the fact that you didn't see this coming, girl, get your head out of your own fucking ass.
Right. Even what's her name? Hyacinth. Her reaction should have been what Eloise's reaction was.
The way if like my best friends like at any point in my life had a brother and I was dating, they'd be like, people used to be like, oh my God, I wish I had a brother so you could date them. We could be sisters. Like normal people. Like what? Ew. What? I was just shocked.
Yeah.
Of all brothers, Colin's just there. Like, especially this season. Like, what are...
He wasn't even there. He just...
Also, girl, he
had been gone. He came back.
You don't even really talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, what are you missing? And also, you're not even friends with Penelope anymore.
Right.
So, like, why? It was just so fucking crazy to me. And I was so glad she had the realization of being like, yeah, what am I doing? Like, this is so... Why do I... Like, she did protect me and she did try and save me. Like, she did all of this for me. Like... Come on.
I know you like Eloise, but I haven't liked her since she said, Daphne, make haste. That scene, I was like, she's going to annoy me. That was the very first scene.
Daphne drove me crazy. So, and I was anytime anyone was going to get on Daphne's ass, I was like,
yeah,
I'm liking
fine
this.
With Daphne's just like a little fragile whatever.
Yes. And I'm not mad at the actor. I'm just mad. I'm like, of course, we're coming to season 1 with a fragile little flower, and of course she's
yeah.
Like,
It reminded me about how Shonda has talked about how she Trojan horses like stories in where it's like I gotta come in with the palatable thing, and then
she's a puppeteer.
Yeah, and then we bring in the juicy stuff.
Well, and it's also like, if you look at the demographics of the people who are like watching this show who have not gotten into Shondaland before, and she goes, ha, gotcha. Hook, line, and fucking sinker with that Daphne season, with that little wilted flower and that annoying fucking Simon guy. And people are like, I love Simon. I don't even think Shonda likes Simon.
Simon doesn't like her.
No, they don't even like each other. Shonda's a fucking genius. So I stand by the hottest couple, the best chemistry, and the season that I need. And I'm so glad they were in this more. What are they called now? Well, no, they're not the Lord and Lady of the...
They're Van Count.
Yeah, something. Boxer, Bridgerton.
Oh, you're talking about them. I thought you meant...
Mondrich.
I thought you were talking about Kate and Anthony.
No, because they got like another secondary house, but they have a house and they've like they're of a house, but they're not. That's not their last name, which was confusing to me. Is the Mondrichs? Oh my God, I love them. I also need her to meet the other girls because this girl's never lied to her man a day in his life. Like she needs to teach these society women something about like. And the fact that she became friends with Lady Danbury, and Lady Danbury goes, I see a woman who's pulling some strings. And she goes, help me. Help me convince my husband. I love that.
She would get along with any of the... I think her and Penelope would be good. Into shape. Her and Penelope would be good together. But I like Penelope's friendship with the seamstress lady. I love their friendship. But...
Mons is like obsessed with the fact that she's changed her accent. And he's like, it's like so fucking crazy.
Yeah. But I don't want her to have to do the emotional labor of being friends with those girls.
No. But I'm saying she could teach them a thing or fucking two. And I would fucking love Eloise to see her and go, oh shit, I am not walking the walk. Like the way that like this, again, like Eloise is very much like conceptually, but like she steps out of a carriage. She goes, ooh. I hate high society. Okay, throw her in Survivor. Right. Throw her in somewhere else. Like, have her problem solved. Figure this shit out. Like, it's the same way that like the look that they had when they met Francesca's husband's cousin,
Michaela,
and they were like, oh, okay, this is the woman I said I wanted to be, and now I actually don't know.
I had to figure out what that look was, so I did. I know, but I don't know if you want me to spoil it for you.
We'll say to the end so we can cut it out if other people don't want to know. I'm obsessed with the shy couple, like Francesca
and I keep calling him Killmonger. I know it's Killmartin, but yeah.
Literally, she shows up and I go, who the fuck is this? And then when Violet is like so sad to see her go, I go, bitch, you are not sad. You have never met your daughter. We met your daughter for the first time today, and as did you. She's been away. You sent her away. Yeah, but I don't even know who the other actress was. She was hardly in it.
Yeah, but that's her thing, is that she's like, please, it is too loud in this fucking house.
And didn't they switch the actress with someone who was like about 7 inches shorter or 9 inches shorter?
The original actor was shorter. The new actress is taller.
And so we're supposed to believe you sent her to a school for what? To wear stilts every day? Like, this is just like, it was so...
She looks, I think the other actress looked more like Eloise, and then this newer actress looks more like Daphne.
Yeah, no, when there was a clip of Francesca and Eloise sitting next to her, I go, those girls are not related. Those girls like nothing fucking like. And I think Eloise looks a lot like her mom. And I think Eloise looks enough like Daphne and like Hyacinth. Francesca looks like Daphne. Nobody else.
And also, her makeup was like modern makeup. They did not do anything to make her period white.
This girl had iPhone face. Also, she wasn't wearing the same wedding dress every other bitch has been wearing. And I go... I thought you don't want to draw attention to yourself, and now we're getting a whole new genre of outfit. Like, you look like Princess Leia. Like, what is going on? Like
I don't want to be here.
But it was so crazy, and I was just like, I literally was like, girl, to Violet, I'm like, let your daughter leave. She hates you, and you don't even like her. You don't have to keep pretending. Like, you don't.
I think she loves. I think that she loves her. She just doesn't understand her.
No, and she loves her from afar, and I go, so she's going afar. Yeah. So like, stop bitching and moaning.
And you don't have to worry about her anymore.
Yeah, but so Mons was talking about he was like getting very annoyed with that storyline because we've like talked about this before, but like there are people that we know who are seemingly from the outside shy, and then they get with people who are other people are like assume that they're shy, and it's like, oh no, you need to have someone who's like big and loud to like bring your personality out. And so Mons is not shy whatsoever. Very outgoing, very charismatic. But like people who don't know him or like will if he's not talking, will think he's shy, and then we'll categorize him like that, and he gets so annoyed by that. He's like, I'm literally not. Yeah. But then like, no matter how outgoing I am after, you think it's me trying to prove it. And so like the whole accusation of like shy being a bad thing, or you need someone to like bring you out of your shell or whatever, both of us like just hate that kind of like storyline. So I was like glad that it was like, let her live. And also like, your partner is not supposed to like bring out a whole different person in you.
They're supposed to like understand you. Yeah.
And so like I really hated that.
I also like I think I talked about it a long time ago, but like as a kid, my teachers would be like, she's shy, she's shy. And my mom was like, no, she isn't, and stop saying that. And it's like the same, like it was like, I like to observe things before I have commentary on it. And I sit here and I'm looking at each one of y'all, and I'm soaking things in, and then when I have something to say, I'll say it. And then you'll be like, okay, she's not shy.
Well,
and it's being like shy is not like, it's not something that's negative.
And also like, what does it even fucking mean? Because the people who I know who like were talking about these people who were getting together, and it was very much the same thing of being like, oh, I wish they were with someone who'd like bring them out more. They're very shy. And I go, that person's not shy. Second of all, like, first of all, they just like, you know, don't really care to like do pleasantries with people or like engage in things that they're not interested in. Like they're very confident in who they are. Like they know what they like, they know what they don't like. They're not trying to like be anything they're not. And the person that they're marrying is someone I would consider outgoing and someone who like is very social and like all of those kinds of things. And so I'm like, I hate it's because shy doesn't even like mean anything. Because like if people who consider shy as a permanent state of being, as opposed to like someone might be a little trepidatious meeting someone new, or like for a while for them to come out of their shell, but you define someone as shy. How, if they're shy, then how do you know them? Right. How do you continue to get, that makes no sense. Like you can't continue to deem someone that. So, and I also, I don't know, there's 2 men this season in the show who gave me the heebie-jeebies. First of all, it was the first man they tried to set her up with. I did not like his hairline. It was giving very much, this man is a vampire. And I didn't like the way he looked at her. And I said, get that man away from her. He's about to suck her blood. And she's so quiet, she won't even scream. And we won't even know. And it'll be too scary. Second of all, is the man in the threesome with Benedict. that man's eyes terrified me. The only scene I could watch was when they were having sex because his eyes were closed. His eyes scared the shit out of me. I said, this man is spooky.
When he popped up on the screen, I said, who is this dreamy man?
No, there was a scream.
And then I said, all three of them are going to fuck instantly. There was everything about the way the whole thing was set up. I said, because I was live texting, because Melanie had already watched all of it. And so she was like, just like, text me your thoughts as you were going. And I was like, all three of them I said, who is this dreamy man? 1. And then 2, all three of them are about to fuck. And it happened. And I don't know why Benedict was being so trepidatious about it. Like,
I said,
we saw you
sucked that dick before. You just watched that man suck that other day.
We saw you in sex parties.
I know. We saw you watch other men get. I saw you lust after multiple men. And why are you being like, I've never thought about it before? And I go, that's a lie. Why are we lying? We're friends here. I've seen you go to sex parties. This is all intimate. That man. I was like, Benedict, get away from that man. That man is Army Hammer. That man is going to eat your skin. Like, I just didn't. I was so afraid. He was so spooky.
I liked him so much.
It was the eyes.
I liked his eyes.
When his eyes were closed, I was fine. Yeah, no, that's actually crazy to me. Like, Mats was like, they're having sex now. His eyes are closed. And I said, okay, I can watch that. Imagine me being able to watch a sex scene just because his eyes were
Benedict is there.
Yeah, literally. And then I said, literally, why does anyone fucking care about Lady Whistledown? All of you bitches are obsessed with her. So this idea we have to find who she is so we can shut her down. You bitches don't want to shut her down. And I did.
And that's what Lady Danbury said.
Yeah. And if anyone hasn't listened to the end of it, watched the end of it, skip this part. But I literally paused and said to Mats, I go, all Penelope has to fucking do is write a letter to the Queen and be like, hey, bestie, I know you want to know who Lady Whistledown is. What do you need? Because I want to keep doing this. I know you love gossip. I love doing what I'm doing. Probably could have gone a little feisty at sometimes. Do you want an exclusive edition? Do you want to read it 24 hours for everyone? Like, how can I give you to know that you're special and you're picked above everybody else? I'll give you the early day. Do you want to be do you want to have a little emblem at the bottom, whatever that is? And then I need you to protect me from Cressida and like these fucking bitches. And Mats was like, maybe. And then it happened.
That is essentially what Lady Danbury was telling her when they were having that whole chess thing. It was like, you like her. Like,
she said, stop trying to shut down your favorite form of entertainment.
Yes.
You're trying to get your favorite TV show canceled right now. Why?
And she's like, why? And as we all know, Lady Danbury always knew who it was. She had figured it out before. And then that moment when the Queen figured it out, I said, she's about to show up at this wedding. And then she didn't come. And I was mad. I was like, where is she? She knows what the fuck is happening. And then she came to the after breakfast party.
Yeah. I was like, that's like really modern. I didn't know you guys did brunch after.
That's actually how weddings used to be. It's like you had to fast the day before. And so they would have the weddings like in the morning because it was like a religious ceremony. They'd have it in the morning and then have a breakfast after.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
So when she showed up, I was like, thank God. I was about to say this is about to be the biggest disappointment in this season. But then she showed up and I was like, great. But my favorite part of that whole thing was, one, Benedict left. So like before anything even went down, because he was like,
Benedict was literally just, he was gone all season. Yeah. He said, I'm so sorry. I have a dick. I have to go get this. A pussy appointment.
Bend this dick. Benedict.
Yeah.
It's in my name. And then Lady Danbury, when the Queen was like, everybody needs except for the Bridgertons, Penelope takes off running.
The way that Lady Danbury said,
she just stand there. It's
just
like,
because you fucked her dad, girl.
No, it's I think yes, that was my thing.
No,
I was
it's
like,
not why.
But
it's why,
yes, but it was like, one, I was almost y'all's stepmama and step grandmother. Y'all wouldn't even known your other grandmother. It would have just been me. One, but two, Violet's gonna tell me and the Queen's gonna tell me, why would I leave? Like, these are my two besties right here. There's no reason. Like, I am family. I am a Bridgerton.
No, I think if she tried to leave, the Queen would be like, bitch, come
right. And Violet would have been looking at her crazy too.
Yeah, she said, only Bridgertons. And if she left, she said, do you think that doesn't apply? Like, you know you don't count. It's like, don't tell anybody, but like, of course I'm gonna tell this person. It's like, well, of course. Like, she knows. She goes, this isn't about me, but this is about me. This is not about me, but this is my business. And I've been explicitly asked to say in not so many words. But I thought it was so funny when they cut to her. And I was like...
And she's just sitting there with her cane. Yeah, she's like...
She goes, yes, the Bridgertons, we've arrived. We're here. Almost your stepmommy. But first of all, the bug thing with the butterflies, I was obsessed with. I was like, that was so fucking funny. I hate butterflies, but that was really funny. Yeah. Though I was concerned. I said, I need you to open more windows, everybody, because these butterflies, we need some air circulation. They need to be able to go outside. This is a little scary. I don't know why I wrote this down, but someone was having a good dream or something. And I was like,
Colin?
Was it Colin? Yeah, he had his wet. I literally said, damn, they had wet dreams back then.
Of course it. But I knew it was a dream because of the way that he walked in and Penelope like knew what she was doing in the dream. Titties. And I said, this is a dream. The way that she was heatedly, and he immediately went and grabbed them perfect titties. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, this is a dream. Even though he had like in the carriage, which we didn't even talk about that scene. The carriage scene, he did.
I will say, I think they had the most sex scenes of any of the couples, like that weren't like montage.
Yes.
Either.
Yes.
Also, the way I was yelling at my TV, being like, "Stop having sex! You're not allowed to do this." Like, why is you literally establish these rules in these shows that you guys can't do it, and then every single one of you are having sex beforehand? Like,
yes.
Then stop! You're stressing me out.
He knew as soon as his hand went under her dress that he was like, "I'm marrying her." Like. She can't be with the big blonde man, which I did. I like that man. I did like him, the vegetarian man. You're frozen, so I don't know what's going on. There we go.
I don't like him. He's blonde, and it's a shade of blonde that I couldn't tell if he was old.
Yes, he wasn't old. He's
also. Do you kind of feel bad for Cressida?
Yes.
Me
but
too.
Let's get back to this carriage scene, though. But
go back to the thing we already forgot about that we're going back to. Yeah.
Imagine. You're the carriage drivers.
I literally.
And you gotta. First of all, there's this man chasing the carriage. You've got to stop it, and he gets in. But we know who it is. Mm-hmm. He gets in, and then you just hear this moaning because there's no actual windows. This sweat, like you're on top of it. On top of the whole thing, you know exactly what's going on, but also
they had the horse. How's the horse?
The horse
feeling?
doing? But also, they know that she's Lady Whistledown because they're taking her to the place all at the end of the night or whatever. So they have all this information. Like, just imagine the gossip that's going on.
I'm waiting for them to be like, Cressida did her fake Lady Whistledown, and the carriage drivers goes, nah. We'll do our fake Lady Whistledown. We know shit.
We know who it is.
We know so much fucking shit. I was like, that is so
But also,
crazy.
We have Mr. Worldwide playing while the fingering is going down.
No, Melissa, I actually need there to be a competition about guessing the songs, because the longest it's ever taken me to guess the song from the beginning, 5 seconds. 5 seconds is the longest it's ever taken me. I'm able to do it so quickly that Mott's is like, how? And I go, I don't know. Like,
I'm pretty good at it too. But I started cracking up when it was playing, and then he tweeted out about it. Did you see?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
He was excited, ecstatic.
There was, the Benedict song where for one of the threesomes was supposed to be Promiscuous Girl, and they changed it, and he was devastated.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I did.
So when I asked Mons, I was like, damn, they had wet dreams back then. Like, and he was like, and he keeps being like, you got to read this one book about, or this podcast about this like one like Baron or whatever who like was just talking about like sucking dick and anal and fucking men and all of this stuff, and like he talked about his wet dreams or whatever, and people like talked about like how like romantic and beautiful they were. And then I was gonna say, do you think like Paul Revere and his like neighbors had like PTSD dreams of being like woken up screaming like the British are coming, and it's like, don't worry sweetie, you're just having another dream? Like, do you think that like they had like, oh my god, I can't believe, like reoccurring PTSD dreams about that? Like the idea of that is so fucking funny to me, because like we think of things like, oh yeah, soldiers who go to war have like PTSD dreams,
because it's PTSD, and then also PTSD dreams sounds yes.
PTSD dreams about like war and all of that kind of stuff. And then I think back to like war and history, and I go, oh my god, so that means through all of the worst people have had this. Like this, and like thinking about that we all dream, because as a child, I once asked my dad if babies cry in different languages. And he said, that's a very insightful question. And he was like, no, but like maybe like different tongue placements.
I think there's
different tongue placements and like they talk about different sounds in different areas where people, they sound differently. And I always like think about that with like period pieces and stuff of being like, well, like, yeah, I know that like electricity wasn't whatever it is today now, and like they don't have Bluetooth or whatever, but like certain like functions, I'm like, I wonder like the first person who had a dream, like a wet dream, like you can't go on Reddit and then figure out what's going on, like what just happened to me or whatever that is, and then like, or like a PTSD dream about war and stuff, and I go, oh my god, like that means they had ones about like the British are coming, like this is just like so crazy to me.
People have always been sexual, so like
no, I know, but like without the community of like, and like it being so taboo to talk about, I always think about it, I'm like, that's so like thinking about all of this of being like, I would just think like the first person who had like PMDD, good God, you were crazy. You probably got a lobotomy and like all of those things that I think about where you like don't realize how normal some of those things are.
But also like a lot of the things that we see in media are coming from like people that were higher in the hierarchy. And it was taboo around them, but people that were like the townspeople, they were doing they would talk about it.
Well, that's what Mats was saying. He was like, he's like, oh, there's so many points in history or whatever that like some people will write their own history from this like very glowing perspective or whatever. And then you have people who are like under ranking of them telling the same story of being like, here's actually what went down. And you have all of this. And he was like, it's like very much the same. Just like the records of history of all of that are different. But he was talking about the way that people describe things, like is you look at it now and you go, oh my God, they're actually talking about this. Like this is what this is. But like they didn't have the words for that, or they called that something different back then. But it's like, so I don't know. It's just always so interesting to me because like history, I have a hard time with, unless there's people and faces I can connect to, I have a very hard time, with timelines and placing things and all of that kind of stuff. And so then when I think about things like that, I go, when he had that dream, I was like, Mats was like, this is definitely from Penelope's point of view because like he's being so romantic. And I go, first of all, it's from his point of view. Look how he's looking at her tits. Like this is a man. But I was like, well, I guess they are just like us. They're just like having sexy dreams, like crazy.
But I think that's also your favorite couple that you love. That's also like you can see the juxtaposition in their relationship because they were before they got money, they were the townspeople, and so like that's why she has so much power in their relationship is because they don't have to adjust. They never went through this hierarchy thing. They're just normal people with a normal relationship.
And that's why I like the Queen, and that's why I like Lady Danbury, and like I like the fact I like the just it's more interesting to watch people's real personalities because like I know for a fact that like all of these like buttoned up and like these kinds of like retellings of things that all prim and proper and laced up and corseted and tight and all that shit like isn't actually what went down, like that. No, because women are still portrayed like that now, and that's not what women are like. And it's like I know they weren't like that then, but like we're just doing it, and so like I love when we're seeing that other side.
Like if we could see like more perspective of the seamstress lady or like the sex workers, like that would give us more like a realistic take. But we're just looking at
and like Mats loves history, and he's always like ask me like what history like periods do you like, and I'm always like, first of all, I stopped paying attention to history after Mesopotamia. Like nothing got better. I loved Mesopotamia, and then I said the rest of the shit sucks. But I was telling him, I was like, I don't like a lot of old movies. Like I don't love watching like quiet women be wallflowers and background characters for men. Like it's just not interesting. And I was saying that I got in this deep dive of this person who was doing a whole thing about Cleopatra, and I was like, this shit is so fucking interesting when a woman is talking about this and deciphering how people are writing about and how people talked about this woman, being like, let me decode this to be like how this woman actually was. And so I'm like, if we had more stories like that, like real historical stories about women who were interesting, written from women who knew that they were interesting and how to write women for women, I'm like, amazing. I would love that. And so this is like, Bridgerton's fun to me. And I know some people get upset about, I saw this fucking article about like how Queen Charlotte, just about how the race shifting, I forget what word it was. I thought they used to be, was it is like problematic because it's dangerous because of what was really happening in history at the time. And it's like the idea that you just don't want them to have fun.
Right.
You don't want, like, then I'm like, okay, cool. So then you only want miserable movies. And it's like, no, like, and I just think we have so fucking many.
Right.
We have so fucking many. Go watch the other ones.
And
like,
it's also believed that Queen Charlotte was mixed race. Like, it is widely believed. And in Queen Charlotte, we have this scene where his mom, like, Queen Charlotte is getting her official portrait done. And it doesn't match her actual skin tone. And she asked, she's like, can you please make this how I actually look? And then his mom goes, no, the king wants her to glow, make her lighter. But if you look at the actual Queen Charlotte's features, those are not white woman features.
Yeah. And I just think that, like, as for me, for someone who, like, we already know how whitewashed and male washed history is. And history is just like the retelling of stories passed down and all of these kinds of things. And, like, for a lot of people, me included, there are so few things in history I'm interested in because of that. Like, there are things I know about, lots of the educational things that I think are important for us to understand. But when it comes to, like, having a passion, there's, like, a lot of things I'm not fucking interested in because, like, of this censoring of this. And so, yes, it's fiction, but, like, a lot of the fucking shit we're reading, I'm not saying history is fake, but, like, a lot of the ways we're talking about people and how they've been depicted have been filtered and, like, sanitized and all of that, like, it's so nice to be able to watch interesting people and interesting women, because I know that they were there back then, but history doesn't like to tell us, like, about that.
Right.
Merry Christmas, everybody! My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go!
Hey everyone, join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
Each week, we deliver 4 fun-filled shows.
In Don't Blame Me, we tackle our listeners' dilemmas with hilariously honest advice.
Then we have But Am I Wrong, which is for the listeners that didn't take our advice. Plus, we share our hot takes on current events.
Then tune in to see you next Tuesday for our listener poll results from But Am I Wrong?
And finally, wrap up your week with Fisting Friday, where we catch up and talk all things pop culture.
Listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Then I wanted to touch on the part where you talked about the wallflower. And at the party, there were wallflowers on, which I thought was great.
I loved it. This is our longest bonus episode we've ever done.
I know. And that's fine.
That's fine. That's what you're getting this week, everybody.
They're not getting new episodes of anything else, so.
I know. It's like, you get this.
Yeah.
Last thing I was going to, I loved her outfits. I did kind of miss some of the citrusy colors. I did kind of love that. I am so glad we have the Featheringtons, because I prefer tacky new money to this classy, glamorous old money. Like, give me cheetah print, give me tattooed eyebrows, like give me like Versace mansion. Like, I love that. And so I was like kind of living for all of it. And I love that she gave her sisters the money.
Yes.
And I really liked the season. Because, like you said, I'm about the Lady Whistledown aspect of it. I really liked that. But I felt bad for Cressida.
Yeah.
And I wish that we had a little more. Because, like, sure, she put herself in that situation, but, like, she was in a fucking bad situation. Her dad was abusive and to her and her mother. And they were about to sell her off to an old man. And, like, I will say, if I could give any note to Queen Charlotte, I really wish that she was more into beheading, because there's a lot of people that I would actually like to see beheaded. And I did say when they were like freaking out with Cressida and they're in the study, I was like, wait, Mods, what if they just like totally turn on this and like Colin grabs a candlestick and like beats her over the head and she dies? Like, I would actually have killed to see it just suddenly turn like a bloody violent thing. And then it ends and that's like the middle of the season 1. And then it's like, did they just kill somebody? And then it's like,
that's the thing, is that with Cressida, she lied to the queen. And the reason
for no reason.
Well, she had a reason, like for herself, because she.
No, but she unprompted decided to make a really big problem. She had a problem, and then she made a really big problem for herself.
But she heard everyone talking about. I think that her
it was a good
story
idea.
Was like very interesting to watch. How
I liked it.
She did not want to marry some old man. She's sitting at Colin and Penelope's engagement party, listening to how people don't like Lady Whistledown and how like it would be freeing because like no man would actually want her, blah blah blah. And she was like, got it. And I saw the wheels turn in her head. I knew immediately. I said, she's about to lie about being Lady Whistledown. She gets up, makes the announcement.
Mods called it too.
And I was, like I said, I was texting with Melanie, and I said, here it goes. And then she was like, and just did like a little zip mouth. And I said, here it goes. She gets up, makes the announcement, and everybody's like, and we see Penelope pass out. It's like, bitch, you're a little dramatic right now.
Also, that's not what you look like when you pass out. As someone who's done it quite frequently, it's not that.
And so, but I also heard that like women would pretend to pass out all the time back then because they just want to get away. Which I thought that this was a missed opportunity to, one, do that where she faked it, or two, have the tension between her and Colin be that he thinks she's unwell because she's pregnant because they had sex.
And missed opportunity. This is the time period where I think fainting chairs were invented, and they didn't have one. And I was like,
yeah. I mean, they were essentially fucking
floor?
on one, but
exactly.
But yes, I thought that was a big plot overlook for the whole thing. But whatever, we are where we are. But Cressida getting up and doing that, and then how Cressida's mom, we know that she's a smart lady because she was the one that wrote this, actually wrote the stuff, because everybody's like, Cressida, all her wheels aren't turning in her head.
No, those hairstyles are ugly and tight. Cutting off that blood flow.
So I liked that her mom had more to do, and how we knew that her mom was the one that wrote this stuff. But I felt really bad for Cressida because she did not want to be in that situation. I thought it was not necessarily good, but like it showed us like if women didn't do this in society, this is what would happen to them.
Yeah, and I think it was a more responsible way of showing that, because she didn't go without kicking and screaming. She basically said, my family doesn't love me. My family doesn't care about me. They're not going to support me. And everybody, this is what they're doing to me. They're sending me off. Here's where I'm going. Yeah. Wales, this is the address. I'm going to be with this fucking witch. And like, I think if she doesn't come back in a year, I think they'd look for her. Yeah. And so I do think that if they did it responsibly, it wasn't that like she was an abusive household and then didn't tell anybody and then was being sold. She made her circumstances known to people who then, if they needed to follow up, they could.
And I also like that they didn't
marry her, though.
That's what I was going to say. But I kind of like that they didn't have him swooping in to save her.
But like, I just don't understand, because he didn't want a love match. He didn't care. He just needed something that like was convenient. And so did she. And so then I'm like, when he didn't want Penelope, and Penelope was like, no, not a love match. I thought
it was a big plot hole that he just disappeared and we didn't see him again.
Because I'm like, but you don't love Penelope. So why are you butthurt that like he
was embarrassed.
Is not going to be your love. Like, it was just such an odd choice to me.
Yes. I would have liked to see more. Like, I would have liked to see his embarrassment more, because like,
yeah, he's being so aloof. And I'm like, okay, so you're actually not that chill. Yeah. So like, then do that, because otherwise if you're like, if it's just a you need to do it. So does Cressida, and you already liked her, and nothing turned you off of her. You just like liked Penelope a little bit more.
And it seemed like a great situation. He's gone all the time.
It would have been perfect.
It would have been perfect for her and Eloise. Like
that's what I meant. I was like, why are you not doing this? Like it was just so odd to me because I was like, where did he go?
Yes, yeah. But learning how much money that Penelope has been making as Lady Whistledown, and the fact that she got to save her family, and she was like, listen, Mom, said, y'all have treated me like shit, but here's the money, and then you can tell him that this is where you've been getting the money. So not only did her mom get to run a little scam, but then
she got to avoid the feds. No, but my favorite is she becomes a Bridgerton, and she goes, I just showed all you bitches. You treated me like shit. Here's this money. I've got more than that where that came from now. So keep your fucking asses in line. If you talk to me like that ever again, you saw my husband, he's going to beat you up. My husband is fine yelling at my mom. And when he was like, sorry about that, and she was like turned on, I was like, girl, relatable. Like watching a man yell at your mother and being like, you're a piece of shit, you're a bad mom. I'm like, hot. Not at all relatable. And like, I was just like, it was such a great power move. And I was so impressed by it. I was a little confused about the other Featherington sister, the tall one, like why she was in a bad mood. And I was like, what's going to happen? Like I was like, are we trying to imply, like, I thought they were trying to like maybe demonstrate different pregnancies about like one person who's like in a very, like just like not having good one, the other sister's like bugs and like all happy. But that one to me felt like I felt like I missed something.
I think it was just, she was just jealous because Penelope was getting all the attention that she thought that she deserved, because Penelope was the one that they were always dumping on all the time, and they never thought that she.
I know, but then the other sister's fine
because
you know what I mean? Like,
she's a little the taller one is a little more present when the other sister isn't.
Yeah, I think they developed their characters a lot this season to that, and so I was just kind of like, oh, this is a lot of personality. Is something wrong? And then it's like, oh no, that's just your personality. Yeah. We just haven't seen as much of it. I'm obsessed with that little bug weird girl and her husband. And he looks like a bug. And I go, happy for her and her bug boy.
Yep.
And she's the one who's dating Benedict.
And the other one is dating the blonde man.
Oh.
That's why I said you wouldn't know who he was, because we haven't met him yet.
Okay. He looks like a mix of like a figurine that would be like in a Christmas like village or in VeggieTales. I don't know. There's something about his face that I feel like I could put in like ceramic very easily, and I don't mean that as an insult. They're just like
he looks very he
looks like a character from like a children's like picture book. Like he just looks like I know it's mean to say someone like you look like someone who'd be easy to draw. He doesn't look easy to draw, but he looks like he would look very good. Like he looks like a good drawing. When you could make him Arthur.
When they said that Colin was looking sturdy, I was like, no, that blonde man is sturdy. Like that is a sturdy man.
Bridgerton sturdy?
Because he used to be, remember he was in the carriage with his brothers and he took off his shirt and they're like, you're looking sturdy. They're picking on him.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm like, if we're gonna talk about sturdy, we've got a boxer in here.
Yeah.
With some shoulders. Yeah. And we've got Lady Danbury's husband.
But we've also got Penelope's titties. Those are some sturdy titties.
Those titties have sent men to war.
Yeah.
Those titties.
They literally did.
Those titties. She said the British are coming. And those British, those are my titties. I'm obsessed. She's so good. And her glow up is beautiful, but like she's just honestly one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Yeah. Agree.
Like
I keep watching her in interviews and I'm just like, I'm getting lost in her eyes.
Yeah. There's something about like, obviously I know that like eyes, nose, lips, like that's what makes up a face. But there's something about the harmony combination of both her and Simone Ashley's eyes, nose, like that thing that I go, I could watch you forever. I could watch you for fucking ever. So I loved it, but Queen Charlotte season 2.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's a need, not a want.
I keep thinking that they're like going to announce it. And that's why it's actually taking 2 years for season 4 to come out.
Yeah. And like, give it, you can even have it be like Violet's season of getting, like, there's so many things you could fucking do. Or any of Agatha's kids, because who the fuck are those bitches?
Right. Well, I know for a fact that we will see someone.
Well, thank you all for listening to this very long episode of
Maybe we'll split it into 2.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can do Bridgerton and then, well, we adore you all, gentle readers.
Oh, and you notice that the stamp changed for Lady Whistledown to Penelope's side profile.
Oh, no, I should look back at that. That's cute. I didn't notice that.
I liked it.
Love it.
But we are gonna. Does that mean now we're not gonna have the Queen of Genovia isn't narrating anymore? It's just gonna be Penelope.
Well, to be fair, 3-season contract is standard, so I did think about that. Yeah. So there's a high likelihood she's not coming back because the 3-season contract is standard.
Yep.
But she might be. Shonda's got power.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Laureau, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth.
Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.